friends, welcome back again. So happy you popped over again to see what I am up to today. For everyone who is new here, welcome. My name is Janny and I hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, I hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone here who is not subscribed to my channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and of course, hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. Like I always say, enough talking and let's jump into today's inspiration. And you see already on the table is one big mess what we need for this DIY, but don't worry, it is almost nothing. It looks more than it is. Of course, we are going to use the tumbling tile blocks. I have here my little bag with some half wooden beads in different sizes. Of course, I use the half wooden beads, but you also can use some piece of cardboard, a little bit of the thicker ones, and you can make rounds out of that one. So you don't have to use the wood if you don't want to make any cost on half a round. I have here my container with everything inside, some scissors, markers, brushes, cutters, some Mod Podge, some twine, and of course the wood glue. I have here some paint, but this is only as an example. Just choose the paint color you like and which is fitting for your decor. Of course, my old saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel, which is wet to wipe away the glue. What we're going to make, we are going to make something you can use for the fall season and for the Christmas season. I'm going to make kind of an ornament, but the ornament can also be a pumpkin and you can use it as a Christmas ball. So you can go both ways with it. So everyone who loves fall can do the fall piece, and if you like more like the Christmas piece, then you make a Christmas ball out of it. So we will see how this will turn out. So you see already on the table is the first step, and the first step is 5 rows of 8 blocks. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5 rows of 8 blocks, and we are going to glue them together because we are going to start making the bottoms of our pumpkin or Christmas ball, just what you call it. And I want to do it without sewing, so I hope that I don't have to sew, so everyone can make it. So with a little bit imagination, you see later you see a Christmas ball or maybe some pumpkin in it, but you never know. Maybe you think, what's she doing? It looks really not like a pumpkin or like a Christmas ball. And of course, I'm a Christmas channel, so mine will be the Christmas ball, but I also show you how easy it is to make it into an easy pumpkin, because this one is really easy to make and you can change it up any way you like. I used like I told you, the half wooden beads, but you can do it like I told you with the cardboard, but you also can maybe do some glitter if you like more like the gold and the silver. You can have, there's some fun that kind of sticker glitters you can place on top, so you can change it up any way you like, and it doesn't matter for what season you're going to use it. So I'm going to do the last of 5 rows of 8, and very easy. Then we're going to squeeze them together. So this is the last, and we're going to start from the inside to the outside, because if you start only on the outside, what I did in another DIY, and everything will explode and goes out. That's not what you want. But sometimes I forget that I don't have to squeeze first to the side. So sometimes when you are busy, you forget some kind of things, and I'm old. So sometimes I do forget, don't squeeze from the out. You see already this one was also trying to pop out. And again, make a straight line. And if you have a carpenter square, just use it if you liked it better. I always do it with my fingers, like a lot of you already know, but I say it for everyone who is new here. And if you're new here, of course, I hope you like it. It is a little bit different. This is going a little bit more slow. Of course, I DIY when I film it, so everyone can make it step by step. So again, we're going to make sure that we have a nice straight line. Always go back when you wiped away the glue, always go back and look if everything is in a straight line again. We're going to give this a couple of minutes. So I gave my 5 pieces of 8 a couple of minutes drying. Now I'm going to place them on the side over here, and I'm going to do this one on the side, this one, this one and this one. And when I glued everything together, then we're going to do an extra piece because he needs to be a little bit longer. I have a round for the bigger pumpkin or Christmas ball from 13 centimeters, and in inches it is 5 inches. And then you can get 2 pieces on top of this piece of wood. I show it to you in a moment, don't worry. So I'm going to make 1 piece out of this one, and we're going to give it some pressure from the side so we get a nice straight piece where we later can saw out 2 rounds. So I'm sorry for the rest of the ball, you don't have to saw, only if you don't have already rounds, then you have to saw this one. But of course, Patty, you also had a great idea just to buy something you can do on your drill bore. We call it bore machine. You can place some round on it and you then easily can saw your round out. I have it also, but I did just bought it, but I didn't use it yet. So I'm going to look for how far I am going to get. I don't know. Normally I do it with my jigsaw, but with that tip from Patty, of course, I hope that it works a little better, but I don't have the width of 13 centimeters. So I'm going to get now 3 loose blocks like this. We're going to do some on the top, and we do some over here, and we're going to squeeze it this way. Make sure they have a straight line like this. And of course, you see already this is a little bit too long, but it doesn't matter. Just leave it on it. It doesn't matter. You can easily later it falls off because you are going to saw out 2 rounds. And that's the only thing I need to saw, because I don't have the wooden round, and I make them with my tumbling tile blocks. But probably you have laying around maybe a piece of wood which is already round. I don't have that, so I have to make my own rounds. But the rest is, of course, I hope without sewing. So I gave it a couple of minutes, and I'm going to do some glue over, oh, you see already over here. And I'm going to place it down, and I'm going to glue this one on top of here. And we're going to let this dry in. And now I have the space, because if I would do another row of 8 here, then it costs me 8 blocks, 5 blocks more than I have right now. And I have enough on this. And what I almost forgot to tell you, I make the rounds from wood, but you also can make the rounds for the thicker piece of cardboard. So you don't have to use the wood. You also can, then you don't have to saw it also. So you can also use a thicker piece of wood. And I'm going to lay this apart for resting at least for 1.5 hours. So for the other round, I'm going to use the round of 8 centimeters wide, or maybe in inches 3 centimeters. So the other will be a little smaller. I need 3 rows of 5, and then I can do 2 rounds out of it. So if you use for the smaller one, it's 8 centimeters, and in inches it is 3. And of course, then you can make, in this size, you can make 2 rounds out of it. I hope I make sense, but don't worry, you see it in a moment. And then everything is clear, because when I tell, it is not always very good English. So I'm just going to show it to you. That's always a little better. So this way we're going to press from the sides and from the middle again, and we're going to let this dry in also. And we're going to take 1 block and another loose block. We do on the top, because he's just a little bit too small, and or else I need to have 5 blocks, and now I only need 2. So we're going to let it rest for a couple of minutes. So I gave it a couple of minutes again and placed this one on the side, this one. I'm going to do some glue on the tops and over here. And we're going to place them down. And this one over here. And we're going to carefully try to fill in the open gaps. So just squeeze a little. And we're going to wipe away the glue. And like this. And now we only need some glue on this one. And of course, this one is also a little bit too long, but it doesn't matter. Later it will fall off when you're going to sew it. And if you have cardboard, then you don't have this problem. So, and we're going to squeeze it. And we're going to let this rest also for 1.5 hours. I'm going to place it over here and I'm wiping my mat clean for the next step. So now we're going to make the base. First we're going to start with the smaller one. So we have 8 rows of 2 blocks. So 8 rows of 2. The only thing what we're going to do is very easy. We just do some on the top, place them against each other. So this way and over here. Very easy. And this one and over here. This will be the easiest I think you ever made, because you don't need to do a lot of steps. So we're going to squeeze them and over here and over here and over here and this one and this one and this one, and we're going to wipe away the glue. And of course we're going to let this dry in at least for a couple of minutes. So what we're going to do, we gave it a couple of minutes rest. We're going to get 2 loose blocks. What we're going to do, we're going to be careful because it's not totally dry. We do some glue on this side and we do some glue on this side. We place them down again. We get 2 loose blocks and we place them on the ending, and we're going to squeeze it and make sure that you have them on this place. Again, we're going to do here the same. Get it up carefully, do some glue over here, and on this side we're going to get 2 loose blocks and we're going to place them against each other this way and make sure. And now we're going to do the same. Of course, I only do this 4 together with you. The other one I will do a little faster, don't worry. I'm going to do again 2 loose blocks and we're going to place them on the ending. So we don't do it on the top, we place them on the side. And the last 4, at least for you, the rest I do faster. And the glue, and we're going to get 2 loose blocks again and we're going to place them to each other. Make sure that you have them in a straight line this way. I'll do the rest a little faster. So I am showing you one a little bit close. You see 2 of them, and 1 on this side and 1 on this side. And if everything is correctly, you have 8 of these pieces, and we're going to let it dry at least also for an hour. So I place them on top of here on another mat of me. So I'm going to have here 8 pieces for the smaller one. Now we're going to lay on the table what we need for the bigger one. So you see already on the table is the next step for the bigger one. For the bigger one we need an 11 rows of 4. So you have 4 on the tops you're going to glue, and you need 11 pieces out of it. So here are already 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you see 11 rows of 4, and I'm going to do only a couple with you, don't worry. And the rest I will do a little faster. You row them very easy on each other. So just place them, you glue 3, number 4 is the closure up. You do this way, and the last, and you place this one against each other. I will do the rest a little faster. So you see already, now we have our 11 rows of 4 blocks on top of each other. We're going to do the same like we did with the other one. We're going to place this one down. We're going to do some glue on this side. And of course, I don't do all of them together with you. Place them down. And I'm going to place that also on the sides. I'm going to place this loose blocks. We're going to make sure that we have a straight line, and we're going to let them dry in at least also for an hour. I do the rest a little faster. So if everything is correctly, now you also have 11 pieces of this one, and I'm going to place them aside and going to let them dry in at least also for an hour and 1 hour and a half. I did get out of my bag 3 sizes for the smallest pumpkin of Christmas ball in the wooden half beads. You can do just make from cardboard 3 different sizes, or maybe with some glitter strings or something else. Just do whatever you think is right. I'm just going to do the rounds. I have 3 different sizes for the smaller one. I'm going to get my tape and I'm going to glue them on top of here, and then I'm going to paint them. So you see already on my table I have some painter's tape. I just did some line of the painter's tape with the sticking part on top. So I pulled up a little piece, then I turned it over and I just placed this one on this one, and now I did place it on my mat this way, and then I did it also on the other side, so he will stay on top of here. So I have my beads already, of my half wooden beads already on the table. I have my brown color because I go for the lighter brown, but you can choose any color you like. So, and I'm going to go very carefully just over each and every little bead. And then we're going to let it dry, but of course you can also spray paint them. You don't have to do it the way that I do. So I'm going to go over them, and then we're going to let them dry in. So now the half wooden rounds are drying. I have now, for the bigger one, I'm going to use some small blocks. This is from just a children's building set, so it's just simple wood. It's very small, and also over here you can use a piece of cardboard, and this block is in centimeters. He is 10 centimeters and he is 2 centimeters wide. And of course in inches he is 4 inches long, and he is 1.5 inches wide. So I really had a bad cough, but doesn't matter. Just my allergies are going up, but it doesn't matter. We have here now 11 pieces, because we also have 11 pieces for the bigger pumpkin or bigger Christmas ball. And I have here 11, and I have here also 22 little wooden half rounds. And what I'm going to do first, I'm going to glue on each and every block. I'm going to glue 2 of my wooden half rounds. And you also can do this also from cardboard, the same, or maybe you have other little rounds laying apart, or maybe you do some glitter, you do maybe some stones, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to glue on all 11 of them 2 little wooden half rounds. So, and I do the last one together with you, and you see already I did lay them all together, because I want to be sure that I have them all in the same row, or else later it doesn't look the greatest if one of the beads is higher or lower than the other one. And this a little trick, just place them under each other, and then you can easily see if you have them all in one row. And now I'm going to let them dry for a couple of minutes, maybe half hour, and then we're going to paint this one also in the brown color. At least I am painting it in the brown color. You can do any color you like. So in the meantime, also this is drying. We're going to take the pieces we made in the beginning of the DIY. This is the bigger plank, and this is the smaller one. For the smaller one, I used a little round of my ribbon. I told you the measurement. The measurement from the smaller one was 8 centimeters and 3 inches. So if everything is correctly, I can easily place it on here, and I'm going to go with my marker, very easy, around, over here, and I'm going to get 2 rounds on one piece. And you see it is really fitting. It is narrow, but it does. And now we don't use too much blocks. We don't want to use, because blocks are expensive. At least here in the Netherlands they are expensive. So we're going to go around, and now I have already my 2 little round for the smallest pumpkin or Christmas ball. And for the bigger one I use my little milk container, you see already, and I placed it over here. And this one was 13 centimeters, and in inches he was 5 inches. So 13 centimeter, 5 inches. So I'm going to go and I'm going to look that I have it in the place I want to have it. This way he is narrow, but it is fitting. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go around and over here. And this one. And now I hope that my container was round, or else I have a problem. So this is already one. And now I'm going to place the other one also in here. And of course it is just fitting, but it is really fine. And again, we don't use too much of the wood. Again over here, and I'm going to go to my garage and I'm going to saw them out. But you can, like I told you earlier, you can use also another piece, and you can use some cardboard if you use a little bit of the thicker cardboard, or else glue 2 pieces on top of each other. So I'm going to saw it out. And of course I was thinking of sawing already my round, but I'm going to wait a little moment because I thought I can better first paint my pieces for the smaller and the bigger one, because they need to dry, and then I have an easy and long time to make my little rounds. So first I'm going to paint the bigger and the smaller one from this one, and I do it in the white color, and this is just a white color which is not totally covering, and I really like that. So I'm not doing the full covering of the blocks, so I leave a little bit of the wood color coming through. So I'm going to do first the smaller 8, and then the 11 one, the bigger one, I also do in the white color. So you see already I did all the side pieces in the white color. Now the only pieces I need to color in the brown is of course this we just made from this smaller piece of wood and 2 half wooden rounds. And I'm going to do also the same color like I did with the other half beads in the brown color, in this color. And then I'm really going to go to the garage and I'm going to make my rounds. So you see already I have 2 of the bigger one, 2 of the smaller one, a little round, and I'm going to paint mine in the white color, a little bit the same like I did with the other pieces, so everything is matching together. But also with this part, just choose your own color. Maybe you like something totally different, do whatever you think is right. So I'm going to paint mine and now out of camera, because or else you get very bored. So all the pieces now are painted. It was a task. It is a lot of painting, I have to admit. But what we're going to do, we're going to get one of the smaller side pieces. What I'm going to do, I have here my beads. So I'm going to get my wood glue and I'm going to make a little texture of on my pumpkin. So I'm going to get one of this bead, and I'm going to do this one on the end. So I'm going to do a little glue, place this one over here, and I do another one. Of course I do one together with you, don't worry. And I do one on this side over here, and I'm going to do now 2 of the smaller ones, this one and this one. And this one will be over here, and 2 of the little ones, they are really small. So one over here and one over here. So I have to get them off, and I'm going to take one of the bigger one and I'm going to place this one in the middle. So very gently, and it's easy to see because you glued 2 blocks together, so you can exactly in the middle find it. Then we have the one which is a little bit smaller. We go on to this side, and I'm not going to squeeze it yet because I want to look first if it looks okay. And this one will be over here. This one, a little glue, and we place this one also over here, and another one over here. And I'm going to look for if I have them in the line I want to have them, and then I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure. And this is how first side is turning off. Of course I'm going to do all 8 of them because we have 8 of the smaller pieces, and then we're going to go to the bigger ones. And you see now we have already the bigger sides, and we are going to get one of the brown pieces. We call it brown, and we're going to glue them exactly in the middle. And this is also easy because it's almost the same length as two of your blocks. So I'm going to do some glue in the middle, and I'm going to place them on top of here and make sure that I give it a little bit of pressure. And we're going to let this dry in for at least a couple of minutes. So and you see also here I just lay them in one row because I want to be sure that all of them are in the same length and in the middle, because we don't want that when you place them on your round that they are going crooked. That's not what you want. So you're going to place it down and place them in front of each other, and then you can easily look if you have to go a little bit higher or a little bit lower. It's always great to measure out before you're going to let it dry in. So again, we're going to give this a couple of minutes drying. So I placed one of the little round on top of a piece of kitchen towel to make sure that nothing will scratch off, and it's a little bit softer to work with. I'm going to get one of the smaller ones. I'm going to do some glue on the underside, but only a little piece. So not too much, only a little piece, because we're only going to glue over the sides. So we're going to place it down and we're going to let it dry in for a little moment before we're going to let it go. Of course, you can use some hot glue, then it is most of the time in seconds it is dried up, but I take my time because I want to have make sure that no one will break off. So I'm going to go for the wood glue and I'm going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes, and so I go around. So I already did glue the second one, but what I'm most of the time is better if that you glue one. So I'm going to do some glue on this one and do it in the opposite direction. Then you already have one on the half. So over here this way, and squeeze it. And then we're going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes, and so I go fill in with the rest. So I gave it a couple of minutes and he's not totally dry yet. What I'm going to do a little drop on each of the ending over here, and on this one, on this, and of course he's still not dried up. That's why we're going to place our round on top, and we're going to give it some pressure, and we're going to place a little bit of heaviness on top, so I'm sure that nothing will fall down. And then we're going to do the second. So now I have a piece of kitchen towel again, of kitchen paper. And I'm going to place the bigger round on top of here. I'm going to make sure that I don't have paint on my hands anymore, or else I will make everything one big mess. So I'm going to place this one, and I'm going to do some glue also on the underside, a little bit of glue, and we're going to place this one on this side, and I'm going to keep it in place for a little moment again, the same like I did with the smaller one. And then I place one against over here, one here, and then I'm going to fill it in. So you see, now I have all 11 of them inside of the frame, and I'm going to tip all of them also again, a little dot on the top over here. And I hope that no one is falling off, but you never know. Over here and the last, and then we're going to place our wooden round on top, so we get some steadiness and they don't fall off as easy. So we're going to give it some pressure, and we're going to let this dry also. So in the meantime, while our pumpkins, maybe you made pumpkins, I made some Christmas ornaments. I have here 4 little wooden tags. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that my rounds are over. I'm going to do a little bit of glue over here this way, and I'm going to make sure that I have the rounds of the openings on top of each other, and I'm going to turn it a little, and then I'm going to squeeze it to make sure that the openings still are open. And I'm going to make sure that I let it rest, and I'm going to get my brush and I wipe away the glue we don't need this way over here. And now I'm going to do the second one. Of course, the glue is still coming out, and I'm going to do this one. Of course, we do some glue over here, and we're going to make sure that we have it also again on this side. We have the openings left open so we can do a little piece of twine through it, and again we're going to squeeze it. We squeeze, and we're going to wipe away with the brush the glue, and we also give this a couple of minutes drying. But again, before you go, before at least where I go, you can also make this kind of little tags. You can also make from cardboard. You don't have to use wood. And I left it open so you can use it for fall season. You can use it for the every season at all. So you can also do some little tag of some lettering on top of here. You don't have to do anything. So I'm going to let this dry. So now I have my two tags ready, and of course what we're going to do right now, I have here two wooden balls because I make a kind of an ornament. So I'm going to do this also with some furniture wax, and I'm going to do a piece of twine through it, but you can do some some ribbon through it, just what you like. I'm keep it in the neutral tone, so I'm going to make sure that I have this, and then I'm going to glue this on top of our little ornament, or in maybe your case your pumpkin, but you need to make a stem then. So you see I have here the smaller one. I show you a little bit how I'm going to decorate mine. I have here my tags and I will let them hang over here. So I'm going to do a little bit of glue over here, not totally in the middle, but a little over here, and I'm going to lay down my twine inside. So I'm going to place this one, and I'll see already my wood of my hot glue is already finished, so he doesn't want, I have to get my second one, but first I'm going to let this dry. Now I have my wooden bead, and I'm going to try to get this one exactly in the middle. So I'm going to do some hot glue on here, and I hope this will work and that he will be in the middle over here. Of course I have to place him straight up and like this, and we're going to let this rest in for a little moment because I did some wax on it, and I should have done that after I did my bead, but I did it already in front. So don't do the mistake I made. First glue it, then do the wax. But I'm always a little scared that I get the wax then on top of here. So I'm going to do this one. Now I'm going to fill it in with some greenery. But of course, when you are going to make this in a pumpkin, it's very easy. You just make a kind of a stem from two tumbling towel blocks glued together. You make a stand over here. You glue some little leaves around it. And you do some little top, you do some little bow, and then you already have your own cute little pumpkin, because you can change it up any way you like. So I'm going to do some greenery. So I'm going to get some pieces of greenery like this. I'm going to rip them apart like this, just pull them off, and also over here and this one. And now I'm going to cut off a little of the plastic ending because we don't like plastic endings on our display our top of our ornament. So, and this is so easy to do. You see already, you only have to use a couple of things and you can make your own unique display. So we're going to use some of the bigger piece, and we're just going to, oh, not in the twine, we're just going to place this one over here, and we're going to do another bigger one piece over here in this corner. And now a number 3 we're going to place over here and just squeeze it in between the little bead on top. Now we're going to go for the smaller pieces and we're going to fill it in. Just place it over here, and we have a bigger one over here. We're going to cut off the plastic ending, and that It gives a little bit more of a high-end look. And we fill in over here. And the last, of course, this one we're going to make a little bit shorter. And we fill in on this side. Over here. And now we're going to let it dry in for a little moment, and then we're going to fill in with the smaller pieces. And now I have the smaller ones. You see over here, just on the back side, a little drop of glue, and just fill in the open gaps. We do here a little bit. Over here, we fill it over here. And we do, of course, over here. And now a couple of smaller ones, and then we already have our piece. And this is a smaller one. And then I think I have enough for my smaller ornament. And this one. And of course, I always want to do it as quick as I can, but always when I do it quick, it doesn't work. It really doesn't. So bear with me. And again, I see here a little bit of an open gap. We just squeeze it in this way. And now on this side, the last. And just under the bead over here. So this is already one, and now you can still do also some red berries on top, but I want to keep it very neutral, so I leave it this way. I'm going to do the big one the same, and this is already how the bigger one is looking like, and I'm really happy with the result of both of them, especially that you can use them for both ends. You can use them for a pumpkin, and you can use them for an ornament. So of course I'm going to let this one hang down, and I have to look for where I want to have it. I think a little higher. So I'm going to go for over here, not totally in the middle. Over here I need to place a new glue stick inside. I already have it over here. And he needs to come in. And of course some glue on top, and I'm going to let this dry in also. I need to get away of the glue wires. So again, now I'm going to place my wooden ball on top of here, and of course I'm going to place it in the middle, and I'm going to look for that I have it really in the middle and straight up. Of course I have to look for, I think I have it in the middle. So I'm going to let it dry in, because also this bead I did with some wax already. Not smart, no it isn't. It isn't, but we have to do with it. So we're going to let this rest, and then we're going to fill this in also with some greenery. But you see in a moment a quick impression, because I won't bore you with that. I do very easy the same like I did with the other one. So you see the quick impression right now. And you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling tile blocks ornaments, but you also can twist them up to some pumpkins. Of course, I hope you enjoy, and I hope you are really going to make this one, because this is so much fun to do and so easy. The only thing you have to wait for is the paint. Of course, everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. For more DIYs, come on over to my description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. Everyone who is here already for a long time, thank you so much for being here and spending a little moment of your day together with me. Everyone have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And of course I told you already goodbye, but I couldn't help myself. I also wanted to show you how easy it is just to finish them off as a pumpkin. So I'm going to go a little bit closer, and then you can see how easy it is to change it up.